Vancouver is a great place to live, and for those who choose to try it out, it can offer a lot. From the beauty of it all to the outdoor activities or the landmarks to the rain. But just like when you move anywhere new, there'll most likely be a few things that you'd wish you'd known before taking the leap. And today I'm sharing with you the 6 things that I wish I knew before moving to Vancouver, Canada. If you guys are new to the channel, I make a lot of videos about Vancouver and its lifestyle, so if that interests you at all, make sure to subscribe to catch the future videos. Number 1 is transit. Now if you aren't familiar with Vancouver at all, you're probably expecting me to talk about how slow it is and how it takes forever to get places, but it's actually the opposite. Vancouver's public transportation is efficient and convenient. The system includes buses, the C-Bus ferry, as well as Sky Trains, all of which run from about 5 a.m. to 1 a.m. every day and are quite reliable. Now I did miss quite a lot of classes actually last year, but only a few of them were because of the buses not coming or the transit being slow. Most of the reason was because I just didn't want to go. Just like a lot of people do, I get myself through the city and anywhere around it without having to look at my phone for a map. Public transportation is really everywhere. And for those of you wondering how much transit actually costs, it's about $100 a month, but goes all the way up to $177 a month depending on how broad of an area you need to travel between. On top of the transit system being very good, Vancouver's also ranked 18th as being one of the most bike-friendly cities in the world. I'm not a cyclist myself, but I know several people who replace their car with a bike when they move to Vancouver. And when they do need a car, they rent an Evo or something similar for the time needed, which is actually quite affordable. The main takeaway from this point is that depending on where you live in Vancouver, you may not need to own a car at all. Number 2. Weather overreaction. People talk about Vancouver like rain, 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 sun. Rain, 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 sun. And if you look anywhere on the internet for info about Vancouver, you will undoubtedly come across people warning you about the battle with rain that you're gonna have to face. Since I moved here 2 years ago, I completely forgot about what I had read on how much it rained because it seemed relatively the same as everywhere else I've lived. Can it sometimes rain for several days straight? Yes. But is it common? Only in a couple months of the year. For being called Raincouver or the wet coast from time to time, it's not actually as bad as they make it out to be. Although it can snow in the wintertime, the temperatures are never anything crazy. For first-time Vancouverites, the amount of snow we get may come as a surprise to some, but if you're someone who's familiar with snow or lived in a place that had it before, it may not really seem like much. Here's a photo of my street today in the summertime, and here is a photo of what it looked like in the winter. It's only a few inches, but it could be a lot if you've never dealt with snow before. So overall, the rain is not as bad as people say it is. But if you do plan to move here, be prepared for a little bit of snow as well. And I just wanted to mention, if these videos help you guys at all, be sure to let me know in the comments so I actually know to make more of these. Number 3 is rental prices. Now most people who decide to move somewhere new would take a look at the housing expenses before going, as they should. But if you haven't done that, you should start doing some research, as Vancouver is one of the most expensive places to live in all of Canada, with the average cost of a 1-bedroom apartment being $1,950 per month. I've got a few Vancouver apartment tour videos already uploaded on this channel, so I'll be sure to link them above and also in the description below. Since the average rent here is so high, it's actually the reason that over 70% of people have 1 or more roommates. Financial experts say that we should spend around 1/3 or 30% of our income on housing expenses, and if we do the math quick, if you made $80,000 a year, you would be able to afford a $1,950 a month apartment. $80,000 minus the tax you pay throughout the year, divided by 12 for each month of the year, leaves you with around $6,000, and $6,000 divided by 3 is $2,000, which is about 1/3 of your income. A lot of people ask me how much they would need to make to be able to have their own place, and I usually show them that equation. If you're pretty early on in your career like I am, then it's not too realistic to try to find your own place in Vancouver yet. But if you're near or over that 6-figure mark, then you shouldn't have a problem finding your own place. Number 4 is car insurance, and more specifically how insanely pricey it is. Now I already mentioned earlier in the video that the transit is so good you may not need to own a car at all, and this point backs that up even further. Now some people love their cars and others need them for work, so this point is for you. The insurance rates are high all over British Columbia, but for younger drivers it's even worse. Now as an example, I'll show you guys what I pay for my car. As you guys know, I drive a 2021 Lamborghini Aventador. I'm kidding, I haven't had time to order that yet. I drive a 2001 Dodge Ram, I'm 21, I've had a full license for 3 years, 0 accidents, and 0 tickets. If you guessed $352 per month, then you're correct. My camera is worth more than my truck, really. Going off the average wage or salary of a 21-year-old, I technically should not be able to afford my car. And we didn't even talk about the car's expenses itself. And for those of you who are older or have been driving longer than me, say in your 30s or 40s, for an example, my friend drives a 2015 Ram 1500 and pays about $220 a month. So if you're relatively young like I am, or even a bit older, or haven't been driving for that many years, be prepared to dish out some cash if you plan to drive here. Number 5, making new friends can be difficult. Now, a friend of mine from Mexico who recently moved here actually pointed this out to me, and I never thought about it because I've known people in Vancouver all my life. He said it can be actually quite difficult to make new friends outside of work or school, and that moving here alone can be tough because of that. Since rent and expenses are so high here, around 80% of people who move here do not move alone, meaning they already have roommates or friends they're with, making them less likely to be on the search for new friends all the time. Majority of the time people move somewhere new, it's either for school or for job opportunities. And my experience with both of those has been really good, and I did not have a problem making connections at all. At the end of the day, I think it matters more who you are and just how bad you want to make new friends. Number 6, the not so nice area of Vancouver. This one is something I actually did know before I moved to Vancouver, but I believe it deserves a spot in the video as it's pretty important. The area is East Vancouver, also known as Hastings, as Hastings Street goes directly through the middle of East Van. I don't want to show too much footage of the area as I don't want to record people who live on the street for our entertainment purposes. That's just not right. The reason this area is not so nice as I described it is because of the large amount of people living on the streets. By no means am I saying all homeless people are bad, but it does contribute to the higher crime rate. Nothing awful has ever happened to me when I've been there, but I do know a couple people who have been mugged. The streets there contain more garbage than anywhere else in the city, and also you have to watch where you're stepping for needles and other things like that. I don't want to make this sound worse than it is because I go there and I feel safe. At nighttime I stay way more alert and I won't have my earbuds in, things like that, but I don't have my heart pounding and I'm like looking at everyone like they're about to beat me up. It's pretty much an area that I don't go to unless I need to go there. If you're someone who's been looking at apartments in Vancouver, you may have come across the East Van area and noticed that the prices are more affordable. But that's no mistake, and even if prices are lower, I would recommend you all to avoid this area when looking for a place to live. Even though I covered more negative things than positive things in this video, it's kind of hard to do that when the title is Things I Wish I Knew Before I Moved Here. And overall, there's 100 times more reasons to live in Vancouver than why you shouldn't. Because if it wasn't a good place to live, then trust me, I would not be here anymore. If you guys enjoyed this video or found it helpful in any way, please let me know in the comments and leave a like on the video so I know to make more of these and help more of you guys more often. And also subscribe because it does help me out as well. So if you guys have any questions about the points in this video or any other ones, you can leave them in the comments below, and also DM me on Instagram at @agrizz. And that's it for this video, so I'll see you next week. Bye.